Hello everyone! My name is Ana Saraiva. I hold a PhD in Management from Lusíada University, and I'm here to give you an introduction to project management. This lesson is divided on 4 stages. The first one is what is project management. The second one is the role of a project manager, and the third stage is understanding projects, understanding the key stages, the artifacts, the documents, the meetings, and the activities of a project manager. And the last stages, focus on the project management methodologies, the benefits and the challenges. So the first stage, what is project management? What project management is all about? As a project manager myself, my role involves overseeing various tasks and activities to ensure that projects are completed successfully. Project management is essentially about taking a project from this initial idea all the way to this completion. It involves a lot of planning and organization. When we start a project, we begin by defining what the project is, what do we want to achieve, and who will be involved. This is really crucial because it sets the foundation for everything that follows. Once we have a clear idea of the project, we move into the planning phase. This is where we create a detailed plan that outlines the steps that we need to take, the resources that we will need, and the timeline that we will follow. So planning is a critical part of project management because it helps us foresee potential challenges and prepare them in advance. After planning, we start executing the project. This means putting our plan into action and working with our team to get the tasks done. During this phase, the communication is the key. We need to ensure that everyone knows what they are supposed to do and that they have everything they need to do their job well. As the project progresses, we continuously monitor and control, of course, the activities to ensure that everything is going as planned. This involves tracking the progress, managing any changes that came up, and making sure that the quality of the work meets our standards. It's important to be flexible and ready to adapt to any issues that may arise. Finally, when all the work is done, we move into the closing phase. This is where we finalize all the activities, ensure that all deliverables are completed, and reflect on what we have learned from the project. It's also a time to celebrate the success of the project and the knowledge of the hard work that everyone was involved. So in summary, project management is about guiding the project from start to finish in an organized and in an efficient manner. It involves planning, it involves executing, monitoring, and closing projects to achieve specific goals. It's a dynamic and a rewarding progress that requires good communication, good organization, and problem-solving skills. So now we're going to talk about key learning objectives, the expected outcomes. The bullet points. We will understand the project management. We will learn about the fundamental concepts and the fundamental definitions. We will also see the history and evolution of this profession and of this discipline. Okay? We have to gain insights into the historical development and the evolution of project management. We also see the core functions, or familiarize with key functionalities such as planning, resource management, risk management, and the crucial one, communication. Also, the role of a project manager. I will show you a video to see how a good project manager should be and should react. Okay? So we have to identify the roles, the responsibilities, and the expectations of a project manager. Also, the project lifecycle. We have to understand the stages of a project lifecycle from this initiation to the closure. And of course, the methodologies. We will learn about the various project management methodologies, like, for example, Agile and Waterfall, and some hybrid ones. Okay? So, and the expected outcomes. The expected outcomes are the practical knowledge. Okay? We will acquire practical knowledge of project management tools and techniques. Another expected outcome is the strategic skills. We'll try to develop strategic thinking and planning skills applicable to real-world projects. Another outcome could be the risk mitigation. We will understand the ability to identify and to mitigate risks effectively. Another outcome is the enhanced communication. We have to improve communication skills for stakeholder management and for the team collaboration. Quality management is another expected outcome. We will learn how to implement quality management practices to ensure the project success. The certification readiness. What is the certification readiness? We will prepare for professional certifications such, for example, PMP, CAPM, and Agile certifications. I will tell you what these sigils means, okay? The main bullet points, it's the 6 ones that I presented to you, okay? So we will understand all these objectives, and we will try to accomplish these expected outcomes. So what is project management? What is this discipline? What is this profession? What is the definition? So since 1979, that project management is defined by Kerzner by planning, organizing, directing, and controlling of company resources for a relatively short-term objective that has been established to complete specific goals and specific objectives. Next one, by Phillips in 2004, we have another definition of project management. So for this author, the project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. It's also the practice of planning, organizing, and executing the tasks needed to turn a brilliant idea into a tangible product, service, or deliverable. Now, for the Association of Project Managers in 2019, we see that project management is the application of processes, of methods, of skills, knowledge, and experience to achieve specific project objectives according to the project acceptance criteria within agreed parameters. And the last one, from the Project Management Institute in 2024, from this year, we see that project management is the process of leading the work of a team to achieve all project goals within the given constraints. So, although project management has its roots dating back to the era of the Egyptians, it is only in recent decades that corporations have systematically employed project management tools and procedures for complex tasks. So, in the 50s, modern project management techniques were notably utilized by the US Navy during the Polaris project. We can search online the Polaris project. Through the 60s and the 70s, the Department of Defense, NASA, and major engineering and construction firms implemented project management concepts and techniques to manage large-scale, time-sensitive projects effectively. In the 80s, we saw the manufacturing and software development industries begin to adopt and apply advanced project management methodologies. In the 90s, project management principles, tools, and processes are become widely embraced by the various business and organizations across multiple sectors. Since Friedrich Taylor published the Principles of Scientific Management in 1980s, approaches have been established, leading to a refinement of the profession during the past century. 1970s, Henry Grant created the first Gantt charts. We can see here in Chi Ono of Toyota, production facilities. In 1957, The Total Cost Management Framework is released by AACA, Association for the Advancement of Cost Engineering. It's a process for applying the skills and knowledge of cost engineering. Now, I'm going to show you here the chart. So in this chart, we see the evolution of project management. We talk about the Gantt chart in 1970s and the CPM, the Critical Path Method, invented by the DuPont Corporation in 1957. In 1969, the Project Management Institute, that you probably heard about it, you can search online the Project Management Institute. You have certifications for project management also. So this was created in 1969, and it was launched to promote the project management profession. So project management in 1969 started to be a profession. In 1986, the Scrum, that is named as a project management style, Scrum is a software model that encourages close collaboration of team members. So now this important software was created. So this started to be a really important profession and a really important discipline. In 1989, the Prince method, derived from Promoti, is published by the UK government agency that it's called CCTA, and it started to become the UK standards for all government information projects. And the latest one in 2006, it was the Total Cost Management Framework. This was released by AACA. It was the first integrated process of methodology for portfolio, program, and project management. So now we're going to talk about the key functionalities of project management. We see here 10 points, 10 key points of this discipline or this profession. We can start about the planning, project planning. The project planning has a scope definition that is it's to defining the boundaries of the project. Make it clear where are the boundaries of when we start the project. In the project planning, we have the WBS. WBS, it's the work breakdown structure. What is this? The work breakdown structure is breaking down the project into manageable tasks. We have to break down, to select each one tasks and which boundaries we want to start to do first. Okay? And in this, of course, we have to have a schedule. We have to scheduling. What is scheduling? It's developing a realistic timeline using tools like, for example, Gantt charts. We have also to plan the budget or budgeting. Budgeting, we all know that budgeting is to estimate the project costs and securing the necessary funding. After this, we can go to the second point. We can go to resource management. What is the resource management? The resource management is to start the team formation. Team formation is assembling a team with the required skills to start a project. We have to talk also about the allocation, the resource allocation. We have to assign tasks based on skills and the availability of the project. We also have to provide the tools and the materials. This means a provision of tools and materials. What is this? This is ensuring that the team has the necessary resources to start a project. Okay? So, if we are all understanding, we can go to the risk management. Risk management is identification of a risk. What is this? So, risk identification or the identification of the risks, it's to anticipating the potential threats. Inside this, we have to analyze the risk. So we have the risk analysis. Risk analysis is evaluating the likelihoods and impacts of all the risks in the project. And of course, we have the mitigation risk or the risk mitigation. We have to mitigate the risks that are in the project or developing strategies to minimize the risks. Okay? Of course, another point is communication. Communication is essential in every project. Inside the communication, we have the stakeholder management. The stakeholder management is keeping up communication with all the stakeholders. Okay. Inside this, we should do some reports. We should reporting. So reporting is providing regular updates and project progress. To communicate effectively, we should have meetings. Meetings is to facilitating the team and stakeholder meetings to discuss the project and the issues related with the project. Of course, this is really crucial for starting a project and to develop the project. It's crucial. Communication is crucial for everything. So now we're going to this point, the quality management, and inside the quality management, we have the quality planning. What is the quality planning? Quality planning is defining quality standards for deliverables. We also have to assure the quality, so we can name this quality assurance. Quality assurance is implementing process to ensure that the standards are met. And of course, we have to control the quality. Inside of quality management, we can insert a point that is quality control. What is quality control? Quality control is monitorizing outputs and addressing the defects that appears in the project. Okay, so the project has to have quality, of course. Another point is procurement management. So we have to manage the procurement inside of the project. Inside this, we can have the vendor selection. Vendor selection is evaluating and selecting vendors. We have also to purchase orders and contracts. It's like the human resource management also, inside the procurement management. Purchase orders and contracts, it's managing the procurement process and ensuring the compliance of the project. Okay, this is clear? So, another point is change management. Change management, so manage the changes occurring in the project. Change management have the change requests. When we are doing a project, we have some requests of changing for managing the quality. For example, we have to do some changes. Changes always appear and always occur, and we have to manage them. So in the changes requests, we have first of all evaluating the impact of the changes in the project. Okay, so to ensure that that we need really to make these changes and that they will be valued for the project. We have also to control the implementation of the changes. Integrating approved changes into the project plan. Okay, and do, of course, reports saying the changes that we made it. In this, we have the problem solving and the decision making. We have always to do some decisions regarding the project when we always have some problems. So we have to manage how to solve them and what decisions we should put inside of the project. So in the problem solving and the decision making, we have to analyze first the problem. We have to identify the root cases of the issues. Okay. So, and then after to identify the issues, we have to do the decision making. What is the decision making? Is making informed decisions based on data and stakeholder inputs. Okay, and if it happens to be some conflicts, if the stakeholders and the team doesn't get to a decision together, we have a conflict and we have to resolve the conflict. So we name this conflict resolution. What is conflict resolution? Is to mediating disputes and, of course, finding solutions. Okay. So another point that we see here is team leadership and the motivation. This is, of course, crucial. So we have to do a really nice and really good team building, okay? And we have to be inside of this. What is a good team building? It's fostering a cohesive and productive team environment, okay? For this, we have to keep the team energized and focused. So we have to provide motivation to the team. So it's really a crucial part of the project manager to motivate the team and to put the team in contact with all the stakeholders. Okay, and of course we have to mentoring. Mentoring is supporting and guiding principally the junior team members. Yes. So the last point that we see here, the 10 points, is the project closure and evaluations. So the final deliverables. We have to ensure that deliverables meet the quality standards and are accepted by the stakeholders. We have also to provide the documentation or archiving essential project documents. Okay, and after this, after we deliver the project and delivered all the documentation and the closure and evaluate the project, we have any other thing? I think so. We have the post-project review. After we deliver the project, we have to analyze the project successes and identifying all the areas from improvement. Okay, so these are the key points and the key functionalities of project management. So now we're going to talk about the importance and benefits of project management, about this profession and about this discipline. Why project management is crucial in today's business environment. So, project management establishes an agreed schedule and planning. After that, it clearly defines the plan of the project before it begins. We saw in the previous slide the project planning. Then it defines the project scope. This is really important to understand what we are talking about, and after that to give the team and the stakeholders all the planning and all the scope of this project. It also controls quality. We saw in the previous slide the importance of quality management. It minimizes the risks. It lowers the project costs. We saw the budgeting, the previous slide. It promotes the teamwork. When you mentor and when you do all the teamwork and the plannings and the meetings, and also creates a base for teamwork. So now we reach to the second chapter of this lesson. We saw what is project management, what it's supposed to do and how should they do it, but what is a project manager, the person that manages the project? I'm a project manager myself, and I can tell you some histories about it and some part of my roles, but we're not here to talk about me, so we're going to talk about the role of a project manager. We're going to talk about what they do, what they are expected to do, and what is this kind of person, what are the expectations from her or from him. What are the duties and the manager, the career prospects and the growth trajectory, the educational roads and the professional pathways of this person that manages the projects. In the next slide, you will see a short video demonstrating the role of a project manager. You will meet Alex, a fictional character who plays the role of what the project manager should be. What are the skills that they have to be and how they should react to diverse environments and situations. We know that project managers are the key coordinators of the business world. They are the master organizer, the strategic thinkers, and the risk mitigators who turn complex ideas into successful projects. A skilled project manager wears many hats, judging a diverse array of functions to ensure that projects are delivered on time, within budgets, and to the highest standards of quality. Communication is the key. So now we're going to talk about what they are expected to do, what a project manager are expected to do, what is Alex expected to do, or you when you will be a project manager. So the expectations from a project manager, they are expected to have an ethical and a professional behavior, and of course a continuous learning and the development of his skills and competencies required, like for example, and as we seen in the previous slide and the previous presentation before, the leadership, the communication, and the problem solving. So we're going to talk about the duties and the responsibilities. The duties often deal with how things are done, and the responsibilities focus on what needs to be achieved and why it matters for the success of the project and the organization. For example, the duties, we see the project planning. We saw this on the previous slide. Okay, do you remember? The project planning, it's creating detailed project plans, including the scope definition, the work breakdown structures, the scheduling, and the budget. Then we have the resource allocation. Resource allocation is assigning tasks to team members based on the project requirements. Then the risk management. Risk management is identifying potential risks, analyzing their impacts, and developing mitigation strategies. Quality control. Quality control is implementing processes to ensure that projects meet the quality standards. Of course, communication, we saw that is a crucial part. Communication, we can say updating stakeholders on project progress through meetings, through reports, and through other forms of communication. Of course, problem solving and the decision making, it's addressing the issues, analyzing problems, etc., etc. In the responsibilities, we see that we have to ensure that the project is aligned with the objectives, with the goals. So we have to make sure that the project aligns with the strategic goals of the organization. Okay. We also see the stakeholder management. What is the stakeholder management? It's ensure that the needs and expectations from the stakeholders are met. We also see the team leadership and the motivation. So leading the project team effectively, you can motivate the team members and of course fostering a positive work environment, okay, with all the team and all the stakeholders. Another point is overseeing project execution and monitoring. We have to ensure that the project activities adhere to the project plan. Quality management. We are always talking about the quality. What is quality of a project? We have to define the standards of quality. We have to define the quality standards across all the project deliverables. Procurement management. It's to manage the acquisition of resources and the services from internal sources. Okay. Change management, it's to conduct changes to the project scope, to the schedule and the costs effectively. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the career prospects and the growth trajectory, the educational and professional pathways of project management. The career pathways. Effective project management combines handling key challenges with continuous learning and professional growth. So, the career prospects and growth trajectory. This section outlines the potential career paths and the growth opportunities in the field of project management. We see the role of, for example, senior project manager. What is this? So, this role involves overseeing large and complex projects, managing project teams and ensuring that projects are completed on time and within budget. Next one, we see program manager. Program managers manage a group of related projects, coordinating efforts to achieve strategic business goals. The next one, we see portfolio manager. Portfolio managers are responsible for overseeing a portfolio of projects, ensuring that they align with the organization's strategic objectives and that they deliver value. And PMO, the director. So this is PMO means Project Management Office. PMO director establishes and maintains project management standards across the organization, providing guidance and support to project managers. What are the opportunities for advancement? We see opportunities for advancement into executive positions like COO. What is this? There are opportunities for project managers to advance into executive positions such as COO. This means Chief Operating Officer. They are oversee daily operations and strategic planning. Now we have here certifications and courses recommended. Certifications and courses can enhance a project manager's credentials and knowledge, making them more competitive in the job market. We see here PMP, Project Management Professional. What is this? PMP certification is offered normally by the Project Management Institute, the PME. This is a globally recognized credential that validates a project manager's ability to lead and to direct projects. Another certification or a course recommended, it's the CAPM. You remember on the previous slide I talked to you about these cycles. So CAPM is the Certified Associate in Project Management. Okay? So the CAPM certification, also offered by the Project Management Institute, it's an entry-level certification for those new to project management. This provides a solid foundation into project management principles and practices. And Agile certifications. We see here as an example Scrum Master. Okay? I will talk to you about the Scrum Master. This is a facilitator for an Agile development team. The role is pivotal in ensuring that the Scrum framework is followed, helping the team to adhere to Agile practices and principles. The Scrum Master does not have traditional project management authority, but instead it acts as a servant leader to the team. So, and what about the educational and professional pathways? What degrees did you have? So, if you have a degree in business, in engineering, in IT, or in related fields, we are able to be a project manager, because you learn how to deal with projects and how can you beneficial in a career as a project manager. Okay, so this is highly beneficial for a career in this area, because these degrees provide foundational knowledge and skills relevant to managing projects in various industries. Also, as an educational and professional pathway, you can have experience in project coordination for assistant project manager roles, and this is really valuable because these positions provide hands-on experience in managing projects, in managing tasks, timelines, and resources, which is crucial for advancing to higher level project management roles. So we reach to the third stage of this lesson: understanding projects, the key stages, the artifacts, the documents, the meetings, and the activities. In project management, comprehending the various components and processes involved in a project is fundamental to achieving success. This encompasses understanding the key stages a project goes through, recognizing essential artifacts and documents that are produced and utilized, and conducting critical meetings and activities that facilitate smooth project progression. By grasping these elements, project manager can effectively plan, can effectively execute and close projects while ensuring alignment with organizational goals and with stakeholder expectations. This section will provide an overview of these vital aspects, serving as a foundation for more detailed exploration and application in project management practices. So, to understanding projects, it's crucial to understand the phases of the life cycle of the project. The project life cycle consists on 5 main phases: the initiation, the planning, the execution, the monitoring and control, and the closure. Each of these phases has its own specific objectives and activities that ensure that the project reaches its goals effectively. So let's go through each of these phases in detail. In the phase 1, the project initiation, the main objective is to establish the purpose and the feasibility of the project. Here we focus on answering some key questions, like, for example, why is this project necessary? Or what is its purpose? Is it feasible within the given constraints? Activities in this phase, including creating the project charter, that is a document that outlines the project's purpose, the scope, and the key stakeholders. And we also have to identify the main stakeholders, or the people who will be directly or indirectly affected by the project. So this phase sets a clear direction and gains support for the project before moving into detailed planning. In the phase 2, the planning, it's after the project's purpose is clearly defined, we move to the planning phase. This is where we go into detail about how the project will be completed. In this phase, our main goal is to outline the specific activities, the resources, and timelines required. Activities in this phase include developing the project plan, which breaks down the work into smaller tasks, and also allocates resources and sets deadlines. We also conduct a risk analysis to identify the potential issues and the plan for them. Additionally, we define the project scope, which establishes the boundaries of the project, ensuring everyone knows what's included and what's not. Good planning is crucial to avoid delays and cost overruns. In the phase 3, execution, we enter in the execution phase. What is this? It's where the actual work of the project takes place. The main objective here is to complete the project activities as outlined in the plan. Activities in this phase include managing the project team, ensuring that they have what they need to complete their tasks, and communicating with stakeholders to keep them informed of the progress. So, execution requires strong coordination and problem solving to handle any issues that come up and to keep the project on track. This is where most of the resources and efforts are invested. The fourth phase is monitoring and control. So while the project is being executed, we also need to keep an eye on its progress, which happens in the monitoring and control phase. The main objective here is to ensure that the project is moving according to plan and make adjustments if necessary. Activities on this phase include performance reporting to track whether we are meeting our goals, quality control to ensure the project's deliverables meet the expected standards, and change management to handle any modifications to the plan. Monitoring helps us identify potential issues early so we can take corrective actions and keep the project on track as planned. So, in the closure, finally we reach the closure phase, where the project formally comes to an end. The objective of this phase is to finalize the project and ensure all activities are completed. Activities in this phase include conducting a final review to assess the project's success, documenting lessons learned to help improve future projects, and releasing resources, such as personnel and equipment, so they can be used on other projects. Closure ensures that everything is wrapped up properly and that the project deliverables are formally accepted by the stakeholders. So what is the importance of this life cycle, of a project life cycle? To wrap up, let's discuss why the project life cycle is so important. Following this structured cycle provides a clear path to achieve project goals, helps with resource management, and minimize risks. Each phase builds on the previous one, ensuring that the project is thoroughly planned, monitored, and concluded successfully. By following these steps, project managers can handle complex projects more effectively and increase the chance of success. So, in conclusion, the project life cycle is a vital tool in project management. This life cycle guides projects from concept to completion. Whether you are managing a small project or a large initiative, understanding and following these phases can greatly improve your project outcomes. So thank you for your attention. So, understanding a life cycle of a project. The key stages of project management or in project management. We'll show you here 5 stages of project management. 1. The project initiation. 2. The project planning. 3. The project execution. 4. The project monitoring and controlling. And 5. The project closure. In each one, we'll show you the key artifacts and the key meetings and activities. The artifacts in project management refer to the documents and the deliverables that are produced and used throughout the project lifecycle. They serve as records of project activities, decisions, and outcomes, providing a basis for project planning, execution, monitoring, and control. On the other side, meetings and activities are the interactive components of project management, where stakeholders and team members come together to plan, execute, monitor, and control the project. They involve communication, they involve decision-making, and collaborative efforts to move the project forward. So, the stakeholder analysis. We see, first in the project initiation, we see as a key artifact the project charter. We all know it is a project charter, it's a charter that we can schedule the project, okay? It's in the first stage of project planning and the project initiation. But we see here the stakeholder analysis. This is a crucial process in project management that involves identifying all parties affected by the project and analyzing their needs and their expectations. This process helps to ensure that stakeholders are appropriately engaged and that their requirements are addressed throughout the project lifecycle. An effective stakeholder analysis can lead to better communication, increased stakeholder satisfaction, and successful project outcomes. This section will delve into the importance of stakeholder analysis, the steps involved, and the tools used to perform a throughout analysis. Then we have the project kickoff meeting as a key meeting and activities. And of course, the stakeholder interviews. Okay, we have to do interviews with stakeholders and all the team to know what we're going to do and to plan the project. Second, the project planning. As a key artifact of a project planning, we have the project scope statements. I think we all know what is this. We have to define the scope of a project and to state what is the scope. We have to define the objective and the goal. But we see here work breakdown structure, the WBS. And we can be a little bit concerned what is this. So WBS is a key project management tool that can break down a project into smaller and to manageable components, okay? It helps project manager to organize and to define the total scope of the project by detailing all the tasks and deliverables required to complete the project. Each level of WBS provides a further breakdown of the project work, making it easier to assign responsibilities, easier to estimate costs, and to schedule activities. Okay. Then we have the project schedule. We all know that we have to schedule the project. We have to do to do a schedule, to do a chart, to understand which components will go to work first. Okay. So, and of course, a risk management plan. Okay, we have to manage the risk, and we have to have a plan to mitigate the risks. For key meetings and activities, we should do some planning sessions. Okay, we have to, as a part of project schedule, we should plan the sessions that we're going to do while we still are doing the project. We also have to research the allocation, of course, and to do risk assessment workshops. What is this? Risk assessment workshops. They are a vital component of project management. They are focused on identifying, in analyzing, and mitigate the potential risks that could impact the project success. These workshops will bring together the key stakeholders, the project team members, and the subject matter experts to collaboratively identify risks and to develop strategies to address them. Then we see the project execution. Okay, so a project execution is as a key artifact has the project and the progress records of the project. That's what we should do. So we should report the progress of the project, and we should do reports of that. Okay, to execute the project. Then we have, as we talked before, the change requests and the issue logs. What are the issue logs? So issue logs helps to ensure that the problems are addressed promptly and do not negatively impact the project progress. For example, we can do this through spreadsheets, to software like tools, for example, like Jira, Trello, and Microsoft projects offer change control boards. Okay. Then we have the test plans and the test results. We have to plan the projects, to test them. When we are executing, we have to show the results, and we have to plan all the things that are going to be on the project. As the key meetings and activities, we should do daily stand-ups and or scrums. We should do status review meetings. We all know what is this. And change control board meetings, the CCB. These meetings are an essential aspect of project management, and they focused on the reviewing and managing change requests within a project. This is a formal group of stakeholders who are responsible for evaluating proposed changes to the project scope, to the schedule, to the budget, and to other critical elements. Okay. So, project monitoring and controlling, the fourth stage of the life cycle of a project, and the fourth key stage. First of all, we have to, as a key artifact, we have the performance metrics. We have to metric the performance and to do reports of what is happening, of what is going on. Of course, we have to audit quality of the project and review the risk. Okay. As a key meeting and activity, we should have steering committee meetings. These meetings are a fundamental aspect of project governance, providing high-level oversight and strategic direction for the project. The steering committee typically comprises senior executives and stakeholders who have a vested interest in the project's success. These meetings are critical for ensuring that the project aligns with the organization's strategic objectives and that any significant issues are addressed promptly. Okay? So, we also have the variance analysis as a key meeting and activities, and of course the corrective action planning. Okay? So, as the fifth and last stage of project management, we have as a key artifact the final project reports. We have to report it's the final deliveries of the project, and it's a report about the deliveries of the project. We have to register the lessons learned, what we learn with the mistakes, with the risks, with everything that happened until now, until the project. And the post-implementation review. We have to understand what did we implement and what we should implement and to review that. Okay. As a key meeting and objectives and activities, we have the project retrospective and the resource release. Resource release is an important process in project management that involves the reallocation or release of resources once their role in the project has been completed. This process ensures that the resources are optimally utilized and can be made available for other projects or tasks within the organization. Last one is the formal project acceptances. So the validation of deliverables. We have to ensure that all project deliverables are completed and meet the defined acceptance criteria. We have to understand the client satisfaction. So a formal acceptance indicates that the client or the sponsor is satisfied with the project outcomes. The project closure marks the official completion of the project, allowing for the release of resources and final project documentation. Inside these are the legal and contractual obligations. They fulfill any contractual requirements related to the acceptance and of the deliverables that protects both the project team and the client. Okay? We have also to prepare for the acceptance. We have to review all the project deliverables to ensure that they meet the acceptance criteria outlined in the project or in the contract, in the project, on the plan, or in the contract. Okay. We should conduct also internal quality checks and audits to verify the completeness and the correctness of the deliverables. As a final stage, we have the client review. We present the final deliverables to the client or the sponsor for review. We should provide any necessary documentation, such as user manuals, technical specifications, and, for example, test reviews or test results to support the review process. To the feedback and the revisions, we should get the feedback from the client or the sponsor and address any concerns or requests for revisions. We should make necessary adjustments to the deliverables to meet the client's expectations, of course. And we should do also formal acceptance documentation. Or once the client or sponsor is satisfied, we have to prepare formal acceptance documentations, such, for example, an acceptance form or a sign-off sheet. We should ensure that the documentation clearly outlines the accepted deliverables and any remaining action items. Okay. Also, we can obtain a sign-off, obtain the client or sponsor signatures on the acceptance documentation to signify formal acceptance. We should document the acceptance in the project records and update the project status to closed. Okay? So, by following a structured approach to formal project acceptance, project managers can ensure that the projects are completed successfully, that the clients are satisfied with the outcomes, and all contractual obligations are met. This process is essential for achieving closure and moving forward with confidence in the project success. Artifacts in project management. The key artifacts in project management. What is artifacts? These are the critical documents and tools that guide us through each phase of a project, ensuring that everything is well organized and stays on track. After going over the key artifacts, I'll be showing you some concrete examples on the following slides. First of all, we have here the project charters. The project charter is the first artifact we'll discuss. This document officially authorizes the project, outlines its objectives, and identifies the key stakeholders. It serves as the guiding framework from the entire project. Next, we see here the work breakdown structure, WBS. The The work breakdown structure is crucial because it breaks down the project into smaller and manageable tasks. This makes it easier to allocate responsibilities and track progress. Another vital artifact is the risk management plan. This document identifies potential risks that might impact the project and outlines strategies to mitigate those risks. Being proactive about risk management is essential for the success of any project. Finally, we have the final project report. This report summarizes the outcomes of the project, assessing how well it met its objectives. It also captures lessons learned, which are available for future projects. So in the next few slides, I'll be showing you some examples of these artifacts, so you can see how they are applied in real-world scenarios. Now, let's take a closer look at an example of a project charter. This document is often considered the cornerstone of any project. The project charter serves several critical functions that we're going to talk about. So we see the first document, we see a one-page project charter template. Okay, we see here for example, the name of the project, the manager of the project, and the overview, a scope, a tentative schedule, and the key milestones, the start, the finish, etc., etc., etc. So next one, we see a more simple one, a project charter templates in Excel. You can do these templates also in Excel. You don't need to have a really sophisticated software for that. You can do it on Excel. It's totally easy. We have several templates online that you can use for free. Okay, you see here the project title, the start date, the end date, the sponsor, the project manager, the needs of the business, the scope, the deliverable, the assumptions, the risks and the issues, of course, the financials, the milestones, and the upload of the project, etc. So, what are the functions of this project charter? So, for example, one of the principal functions is authorization. First and foremost, it formally authorizes the project. This means that the project manager and the team are granted the authority to utilize the organizational resources to move the project forward. Okay? So it also outlines the objectives and the scope of the project. The project charter clearly outlines the objectives of the project and setting the direction for what needs to be achieved. It also can define the scope, what is included on the project, and just as importantly, what is also excluded. This can help to manage expectations and to prevent the scope creep. Also identifies the stakeholders. The stakeholder is an individual or a group who have a vested interest in the project outcome. Okay? By identifying the stakeholders early on, the project manager can ensure that their needs and expectations are considered throughout the project lifecycle. This project charter also touches on the high-level requirements, giving a snapshot of what the project will deliver. It doesn't go into detailed specification, but provides enough information to ensure alignment among all the stakeholders and among all the team. As we could saw, it also gives us the milestones and the budget. It might include preliminary milestones and the rough budget estimate, which sets the stage for more detailed plan later on. In essence, the project charter is a communication tool that ensures that everyone involved starts on the same page, with a shared understanding of the project, the proposed, the goals, and of course the boundaries. Now let's examine an example of a work breakdown structure, or a WBS. The work breakdown structure is one of the most important tools in project management. It's proposed to break down a project into a smaller and more manageable pieces. Okay, the work breakdown structure is an hierarchical decomposition of the project. At top level, you have the overall project. This is then broken down into major deliverables or into manager phases. Each one of these phases is further breakdown into smaller tasks or into work packages. So now the project is more manageable, okay? By breaking the project down into these smaller components, the work breakdown structure makes the project more manageable. Each task or work package becomes something tangible and easier to plan, to execute, and to monitor. It also helps in assigning responsibilities. By clearly defining what needs to be done and who is responsible for each task, it reduces confusion and ensures accountability. Also, another critical function of WBS is in scheduling and budgeting. Each work package can be estimated in terms of time and costs, allowing the project manager to develop a more accurate project schedule and budget. Really important, it's the scope control. The WBS also plays a key role in scope control. By clearly defining the project deliverables, it helps to prevent scope creep. Scope creep is the uncontrolled expansion of the project scope without corresponding adjustments to time, to costs, and to resources. So in summary, the work breakdown structure is essential for planning, for managing, and for controlling the project scope, ensuring that the project remains on track and within a budget. Moving on, let's discuss an example of a risk management plan. We see here a document, a blue one, so we can see the risk definition, the trigger, how we get to know that risk case came true, the action plan for main strategy, the action plan for secondary strategies, the alternative strategy, the impact and the probability of the risk can happen, okay? So this the risk management plan, it's all about anticipating and preparing for potential challenges that could impact the project. The first step in the risk management plan is to identify potential risks, as the name indicates itself. This could be anything from budget overruns to, for example, technical failures, or supply chain disruptions, or even regulatory changes. By identifying the risks earlier, we can plan for them rather than being caught off guard. Once the risks are identified, the next step is to assess them. This involves determining the likelihood of each risk occurring and the potential impacts that it could have on the project. Risks are often categorized by their severity, by low, medium, or high risk, based on these assessments. Okay? For each significant risk, the plan it outlines strategies to mitigate it. This could involve taking preventive measures, such, for example, as securing additional resources or adjusting the project schedule to allow more time for critical tasks. The main goal is to reduce the likelihood of the risk occurring or to minimize the impact if it does occur. In addition to mitigation strategies, the risk management plan may include contingency plans. These are for the plan B options. What we'll do if a risk actually materializes. Having these plans in place can save valuable time and resources in a crisis. Risk management is not a one-time task. It requires ongoing monitoring and review throughout the project lifecycle. The risk management plan should outline how and when risks will be reassessed and how the effectiveness of the mitigation strategies will be evaluated. So, in summary or in essence, the risk management plan is a proactive approach to managing the uncertainty. It helps to ensure that risks don't derail the project and that the team is prepared to respond effectively to any challenges that may arise. Now we reach to an example of a final project report. I show you here two examples because you can do it as a simple document, a full report, or even with an infographic. An infographic is the one that is here on the right. It shows all the report but with graphics saying what happened and what did not happen. Okay? So, this document is essential for wrapping up the project and capturing valuable insights. The report typically begins with a summary of the project, including its objectives, the scope, and the key deliverables. This provides a concise overview of what the project set out to achieve and what was actually delivered. A significant portion of the final project report is dedicated to evaluating the project performance. This can include comparing the project outcomes with the original objectives and key performance indicators, the KPIs. Were the goals met? Did the project stay within the planned budget and with the planned schedule? We have to see this on the final report. We have to answer this question on the final report. This report should also discuss any challenges or issues that arose during the project and how they were resolved. This section is particularly valuable for identifying the lessons learned that can inform the future projects. Lessons learned is one of the most important aspects of the final project report. This is where the project team reflects on what went well and what didn't, offering recommendations for improving processes in the future. These insights can be incredibly valuable for the organization, as they can help avoid similar pitfalls in future projects. What about the final deliverables? The report will also include a detailed account of the final deliverables, confirming that all aspects of the project have been completed and approved by the stakeholders. This can ensure that there is a formal closure to the project. And we also have to talk about the stakeholder feedback. In some cases, the report may include the feedback from the stakeholders, providing insights into their satisfaction with the project outcomes and any suggestions for future projects. In summary or in conclusion, the final project report, it's not just a formality. It's like a comprehensive document that captures the entire project journey. It's an invaluable resource for continuous improvement and for ensuring that the future projects benefit from the experience of the past projects. Now we're going to talk about the key documents, the meetings, and the activities in project management. So first, the documents. We see here the status reports. What is status reports? Status reports are regular updates on the project's progress. A status report provides a snapshot of where the project stands in relation to its schedule, in relation to its budget, and in relation to its scope. They are really essential for keeping stakeholders informed and for ensuring the transparency throughout the project lifecycle. Then we see here the change log. Change log tracks any changes that's made to the project scope, to the project schedule, or the costs. Okay? This document is crucial because it helps manage change control, ensuring that any modifications are documented, are justified, and they are approved before the implementation. It also serves as a historical record that can be reviewed at the end of the project. After the documents, we have the meetings. The kick-off meeting. The kick-off meeting is held at the start of the project. The goal is to align all the stakeholders on the project's objectives, scope, and timeline. It's to set the tone for the entire project, ensuring that everyone understands their roles and their responsibilities. This from the beginning. Of course, it's the kick-off meeting. Okay? After this, we see the daily stand-ups or the scrums. These, after the kick-off meeting, are the brief daily meetings. They are often used in Agile Project Management. They are crucial for tracking progress, for identifying the blockers, and ensuring that the team stays on track with their tasks. They are typically short and focused, providing a quick status update from each team member. What about the project retrospective? At the end of the project, or after each interaction in an Agile project, a retrospective meeting is held to review what went well and what could be improved. This is an opportunity for the team to reflect on their performance and to identify the lessons learned that can be applied to future projects. After the documents and the meetings, we have the activities. We start in the activities for planning the sessions. These sessions involve the tailored planning of the project scope, schedule, and resources. They are crucial for developing a clear and realistic project plan that the team can follow. After, we see the risk assessment workshops. These workshops are dedicated and identifying and planning for potential risks. They involve a thorough analysis of what could go wrong and how to mitigate those risks effectively. Engaging the team in these workshops ensures that everyone is aware of the potential challenges and is prepared to address them. Last one, we see quality audits. Quality audits are conducted to ensure that the project deliverables meet our required standards. These audits involve reviewing processes and outputs to verify that they are in line with the project's quality criteria. Regular quality audits helps maintain the high standards and delivering a product that meets or exceeds the expectations of everyone, or the stakeholder expectations. In summary, the documents, meetings and activities highlighted here are the backbone of an effective project management. They ensure that the project stays on course, that the risks are managed proactively, and that quality is maintained throughout the project's lifecycle. By consistently utilizing these tools, we can greatly increase the chances of a project success. And we can learn how can we improve the next project and what can we do to mitigate the risks of the previous one and the post-project one. So, in the fourth stage of this lesson, we're going to talk about the project management methodologies, the benefits and challenges. For example, a methodology that we talked earlier was Agile, and we can talk about Agile and versus, for example, Waterfall. That's another type of methodology of project management. We have to choose the right project management approach. We have to understand the benefits of an effective project management, and we're going to talk about the challenges, the key challenges on project management. In the realm of project management, selecting the appropriate methodology can significantly influence a project's success. Two of the most prominent methodologies are Agile and Waterfall, each with its distinct principles, processes, and advantages. This section explores the key differences between Agile and Waterfall, providing insights to help you choose the right project management approach for your next project. So, what is Agile Project Management? Agile Project Management is an interactive, adaptive approach that prioritizes flexibility and responsiveness to change. It breaks down large projects into smaller, manageable increments called sprints. Each sprint typically lasts a few weeks and focuses on delivering a working piece of the final product. Agile encourages continuous feedback and collaboration among team members and stakeholders. So, versus Agile, what is waterfall project? Waterfall project management is a traditional, linear approach with a sequential flow of phases. Each phase must be fully completed before the next one can begin. This methodology emphasizes throughout upfront planning and detailed documentation. So, when we want to choose Agile or Waterfall, when we should choose one or another one? The choice between Agile and Waterfall depends heavily on the nature of your projects. Here's a simplified guide. You can consider Agile if you don't have a complete picture of the final product requirements, if your customer needs and priorities are likely to evolve throughout the project, if you want fast, tangible results with the ability to pivot based on feedback. Also, if your team thrives in a collaborative, self-directed environment. On the opposite, you can consider waterfall if the project's end goals and requirements are clearly understood and predictable, if the internal constraints like regulations or contracts dictate a structured approach for your project, if you have a well-defined budget and timeline that must be strictly followed, if your project is highly similar to ones that you have successfully executed before. But you can also use hybrid approaches. It's important to note that purely Agile or purely Waterfall implementations are not always the norm. Many organizations adopt hybrid approaches to leverage the strengths of both methodologies. For instance, a project with a stable core structure may benefit from fixed waterfall like phases for that core, while using Agile interactions for developing additional, evolving features around it. I'm presenting here a chart with the main difference between Agile and Waterfall. So, in the planning feature of your project, in the Agile you have more adaptive, changes accommodated. On the opposite, the Waterfall, you have an extensive upfront planning with change resistance. In the scope of your projects, in the Agile, you have flexible, evolving requirements. On the opposite, with the Waterfall methodology, you have fixed and well-defined at the start. In your feedback, in Agile, you have frequent, customer-centric. In Waterfall, you have primarily at milestones or ends of projects. If your team structure is self-organizing and cross-functional, you should choose Agile. If it's any hierarchical and specialized roles, you should choose Waterfall. In the risk management, if you have proactive and if you address issues in interactions, you should choose Agile. In the opposite, if you have a reactive relies on throughout upfront risk analysis, you can choose Waterfall. In documentation, if you have lightweight documentation that emphasizes working products, you can choose Agile. Or in the opposite, if you have heavy formal reports and specifications, you can choose Waterfall. So Waterfall is a more traditional methodology. Okay, it's more hierarchical, it's more linear, it's more formal. On the opposite of Agile, that is more wild. As you can imagine, Agile and Waterfall are not the only methodologies used on project management. I'm presenting you 4 major methodologies used on project management: Prince2, Lean Project Management, the Critical Path Method or CPM, and Six Sigma. Each of these approaches provides distinct tools and frameworks to help project managers handle complex tasks. from organizing and controlling project structures to improving efficiency, managing timelines, and enhancing quality. Let's begin with Prince2, a methodology widely recognized for its focus on organization and control. So, Prince2 stands for Projects in Controlled Environments. It's a structured project management methodology developed in the UK and used worldwide. It is particularly popular in sectors where control documentation and clear rules are crucial, like, for example, government and large-scale corporate projects. Prince2 provides a detailed framework for managing projects from start to finish, with a strong emphasis on organizations and accountability. Prince2 divides projects in manageable stages, each with specific deliverables and goals. This staged approach helps in monitoring progress and maintaining control throughout the project. Each stage must be reviewed before moving on, ensuring that the project stays on track and aligned with its objectives. Another essential feature of Prince2 is its clear structure of roles and responsibilities. It defines roles for everyone involved, from the project board to team members, creating a transparent hierarchy. This organization helps prevent confusion, as each person understands their specific duties and reporting lines. An important principle of Prince2 is business justification. This means that the project must have a strong and ongoing justification for its existence, not just at the start. If the business case no longer supports the project's goals, it's recommended to either modify or either stop the project. This focus on value ensures that projects aligned with organizational goals and resources are used efficiently. So, now we're going to understand what is the lean project management. This is originated from lean manufacturing principles. The main goal of lean project management is to maximize value for the customer by minimizing wastes and improving efficiency throughout the project process. Lean principles are often applied in manufacturing, product development, and service industries, where efficiency and customer satisfaction are crucial. Lean project management is based on several core principles. For example, waste elimination, which involves identifying and removing any activity that doesn't add value to the final product or service. Continuous improvements, known as Kaizen. Probably you've heard about talking about this. This principle emphasizes making small, incremental changes to process for ongoing efficiency gains. Another one is the value of the customer. Lean focuses on understanding what the customer truly values and ensuring all efforts directly contribute to delivering that value. By implementing these principles, Lean project management allows teams to work more effectively and focus on outcomes that provide maximum benefit to the customer. Some of the key benefits of Lean project management includes reduced waste, leading to lower project costs, faster project completion, as unnecessary tasks are minimized, increased customer satisfaction, as resources are devoted to delivering value directly, and these benefits make Lean project management especially suitable for industries that prioritize the speed, flexibility, and customer-centric process. So another method that we see here is critical path method, or CPM. So this is a technique for planning and controlling schedules in complex projects. Developed in the 1950s, CPM is ideal for projects with tight deadlines and interdependent tasks, such as in constructions, IT, and engineering. The main objective of CPM is to identify the sequence of tasks known as the critical path that determines the project's total direction. This critical path includes the tasks that directly impact the completion deadline. Any delay in these tasks will delay the entire project, so they must be carefully managed to avoid extending the project's timeline. Using CPM involves several key steps. First, listing all project tasks. This includes every task that must be completed. Another one is estimating directions. We assign an estimated time for each task. Determining dependencies. We identify which tasks depend on the completion of the others. Identifying the critical path, the longest sequences of tasks that must be completed on time. This sequence allows project managers to prioritize tasks that impact the deadline and plan effectively. The benefits of CPM are: enables better time and resource management by focusing on critical tasks. It aids in prioritizing high-impact activities, ensuring that delays are minimized. CPM also supports contingency planning, as we can identify tasks with some scheduling flexibility that can be adjusted if necessary. These benefits make CPM an essential tool for projects where meeting deadlines is crucial. So the last one, we see the Six Sigma. So let's finally discuss Six Sigma. This is a methodology that emphasizes quality improvement and effect reduction through rigorous statistical analysis. It was developed on the 1980s, and it is widely used in these industries that require high standards of quality, such as manufacturing, healthcare, and finance. So the methodologies in Six Sigma are DMAIC and DMADV. So Six Sigma employs these two main methodologies. The first one, DMAIC, it means define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. This methodology is used for improving the existing processes. It aims to define the problem and the goals, to measure current performance and gather data, to analyze the data to find root cases, to improve processes to address these causes, to control the process to sustain the improvements. So the other one is the DMADV. It means define, measure, analyze, design, and verify. This methodology is used for creating new process or new products. First, the similar steps in define, measure, and analyze, but then we design a new process and verify its effectiveness. These structured approaches help Six Sigma teams identify and eliminate sources of defects or inefficiencies. The benefits of Six Sigma includes significant improvements in product or service quality, reduction in defects leading to cost savings, enhanced customer satisfaction by delivering consistently high-quality outcomes. So overall, Six Sigma helps companies optimize their processes and become more competitive in their industries. So to summarize, each of these methodologies that we talk about, and even Agile and Waterfall, offers unique tools and approaches for managing projects effectively. But each one of them provides different clear roles and different methodologies. In summary, Prince2 provides structure and clear roles, ensuring control from start to finish. The Lean project management focuses on efficiency and value delivery by minimizing waste. The CPM helps project managers plan timelines and prioritize tasks that impact the project directions. and the Six Sigma emphasize quality improvement and defect reduction through data-driven processes. By combining or choosing the right methodology based on the project needs, organizations can handle projects more effectively, meet deadlines, and deliver quality outcomes. So, the benefits of an effective project management. Effective project management is critical for the success of any project, regardless of its size or complexity. By employing best practices in project management, organizations can achieve numerous benefits that can contribute to the overall success and sustainability of their projects. So here are some of the key benefits of effective project management. Lessons learned from successful projects. That's why lessons learned are so important, because we can learn about the projects that we successfully did. These case studies illustrate fundamental differences in project management practices that can lead to success or to failure. Key lessons emphasize the importance of clarity, of communication, and of proactive management in achieving project goals. We should improve efficiency and productivity. Okay? An effective project management ensures that resources are used efficiently and tasks are completed in a timely manner. This leads to higher productivity and better utilization of the resources, reducing waste and maximizing output. We should have enhance the quality of the deliverables by following structured processes and quality management practices. Project managers can ensure that the project deliverables meet or exceed the required standards. This results in higher quality products and services. We should have better risk management. Proactive identifications and mitigation of risks help prevent potential issues from becoming major problems. An effective risk management practices allow for timely interventions, reducing the likelihood of project failure. Also, we should have clear objectives and focus. Well-defined project goals and objectives provide a clear focus of the project team. This alignment helps ensure that all efforts are directed towards achieving the desired outcomes, minimizing distractions and scope creep. We also have the improved stakeholder satisfaction. Regular communication and engagement with stakeholders ensure that their expectations are managed and met. Satisfied stakeholders are more likely to support the project and to contribute to its success. Ineffective resource management. A proper allocation and management of resources, including personnel, budgets, and equipment, ensure that the project has the necessary support to succeed. This leads to optimal resource utilization and to cost savings. Then, timely delivery. An adherence to project schedules and timelines helps ensure that deliverables are completed on time. Timely delivery is crucial for maintaining client satisfaction and meeting contractual obligations. An increased team collaboration. Effective project management fosters a collaborative environment where team members can work together efficiently. This collaboration enhances team morale, innovation, and problem-solve capabilities. Okay? And continuous improvements. By incorporating the lessons learned and feedback to future projects, organizations can continuously improve their project management practices. This leads to better performance and outcomes over the time. The strategic alignments. An effective project management ensures that projects align with the organization's strategic goals and objectives. This alignment helps in achieving long-term business success and growth. In summary, effective project management provides a structured approach to planning, to executing, and to closing projects, ensuring that they are completed successfully, within scope, on time, and within budgets. By leveraging the benefits of effective project management, organizations can enhance their competitiveness, achieve their strategic goals, and deliver value to their stakeholders. So, lessons learned from successful projects. Proper planning. Throughout planning and scope definition are crucial for project success. Effective communication. Keeping everyone informed and involved helps maintain alignment and commitment. An active risk management. Early and proactive risk management prevents issues from becoming obstacles. Scope management. It is vital to establish and to adhere to clear project scopes to prevent scope creep. Okay? And resource efficiency. Proper assessments and allocation of resources are essential for meeting project deadlines and budgets. Then, stakeholder engagement. Continuous engagement with stakeholders is necessary to ensure expectations and project deliveries are aligned. Okay? So now we're going to talk about the challenges, the key challenges in project management. We know that even the most experienced managers face pitfalls at times. Here are several common project management mistakes and how to steer clear of them. We're going to talk about the most common errors and how to avoid them. One of the most common errors is the poor scope definition. We have to clearly define project goals and deliverables from the outset to avoid the scope creep, where the requirements change or expand mid-project. We have also to avoid unrealistic timelines and budgets. We have to conduct throughout estimations with buffer room. We have to communicate realistic targets honestly with all the stakeholders and with all the team. One of other common error could be the insufficient communication. We have to establish clear communication channels and keep all stakeholders informed. We have to have proactive communications to prevent misunderstandings. Another common error is a lack of risk management. We have to actively identify the potential risks, to create mitigation plans, and communicate these risks to project stakeholders. Another error could be the resistance to change. Projects rarely follow a state line. So we have to embrace the flexibility and adapt my plans and our plans as needed, while ensuring these shifts are communicated effectively. So the quality in project management. Ensuring quality in your projects. Ensuring quality in your projects is paramount to delivering successful outcomes that meet or exceed stakeholder expectations. Quality assurance and quality control processes are integral to project management, helping to identify and to rectify defects, to improve processes, and ensure that project deliverables adhere to the established standards. So, by prioritizing quality throughout the project lifecycle, project managers can enhance customer satisfaction. They can also reduce costs associated, for example, with the network, and achieve higher levels of efficiency and effectiveness. So this session that we were talking about, this PowerPoint, we're going to explore strategies and the best practices for maintaining and improving quality in your projects. Beyond the basics, consider these techniques for exceptional project outcomes. So, advanced strategies for project management success. So, Agile methodologies. We talked about this earlier, the difference between Agile and Waterfall. Agile is a methodology that can improve the success of a project. Why? Because if your projects involve flexibility and adaptation, explore Agile frameworks like, for example, Scrum and Kanban are great for the success of the projects. These methodologies are designed for interactive work and to quick responses to changes. Another strategy is project management software. Utilizing project management tools like, for example, Asana, Trello, Monday, etc., etc. They are great for scheduling, for task tracking, for resource management, and for collaboration. Also, another one is Earned Value Management, EVM. So this is a technique. Earned Value Management is a technique that helps track project performance against budget and against schedule. It is great for catching deviations early. So, and the last one is continuous improvements. Always conduct post-project reviews to learn lessons and to identify areas to improve your processes for future projects. So now we have to recap all this lesson and what we learned about this lesson. Okay, I'm going to provide you a summary and the key takeaways that you should have from this lesson. Okay, I give you here 8 key takeaways. So we have the definition of project management, the history, the key functions, the importance, the project manager role, the pathways, the life cycle stages, and the methodologies. Okay, I think you remember all of them. So recapping, what is the project management? The first chapter was what is this, the definition of project management, and what is this discipline and what is this profession. Project management is a discipline of planning, of executing and overseeing projects to achieve specific goals within defined constraints, such as time, budget, and resources. Project management involves applying knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities to meet project requirements. An effective project management ensures that projects are completed on time, within scope, and to the desired quality standards. Okay, so in the second chapter, do you remember what we talked about? We met Alex, a project manager, and we saw a video of the role of a project manager, of a good one. So a project manager is responsible for leading a project from inception to completion. Their key responsibilities include planning, execution of the project, monitoring and controlling, the communication that was crucial, and closing the project, ensuring that all project work is completed, the deliverables are accepted, and documentation is finalized. In the third chapter, we talked about understanding projects, the key stages, the artifacts, the documents, the meetings, and the activities of a project manager. This stage delves into the fundamental components and processes of managing a project effectively. So we talk about everything. I even show you a chart with the meetings and the activities, with the plans, with the project charter and the methodologies. Okay. So the fourth chapter we talk about the project management methodologies, the benefits and the challenges. We talked about the difference between Agile and waterfall methodologies and how can we do like a hybrid one. Do you remember the difference? Agile is an iterative approach that emphasizes flexibility and customer feedback. The waterfall was a linear and sequential approach ideal for projects with well-defined requirements. And the hybrid was combine elements of Agile and waterfall to suit specific project needs. Also, we talk about the benefits of an effective project management and the challenges, like, for example, scope creep, resource constraints, risk management, stakeholder engagement, etc., etc. So this summary provides an overview of the key elements and considerations in project management and highlights the importance of effective planning, execution, and communication to achieve successful project outcomes. Now we have interactive questions and answers. Please share your personal experiences or any questions you have about project management. Also, for those interested in further resources and reading, Please consult the bibliography at the end of this presentation. I also put my email in there, so in case you want to contact me or to ask me anything about it. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed all these classes and see you next lesson.
Hello and welcome to our sixth and final class on Introduction to Operations Management. Looking at our journey in operations management, this course was composed of 6 classes. The first one dedicated to an introduction to the theme, then operations strategy, process design and analysis, supply chain management, quality management, and this sixth and final one, project management. First, some highlights from last class, which was dedicated to quality management. We said it was a fundamental aspect of operations management, encompasses various methodologies and tools to ensure that products and services meet or exceed customer expectations. We talked about total quality management principles, tools like QFD, FMEA, and SPC. We also talked about the framework that ISO standards provide in order to achieve and maintain a high quality, and also continuous improvement techniques like Kaizen and PDCA cycle. Finally, we finished the class with quality audits, which are fundamental to ensure compliance and continuous improvement. So first, some definitions and scope. Project management involves applying knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities in order to meet project requirements. It ensures that projects are completed on time, within budget, and to the required quality standard. A project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result, characterized by a goal, a defined beginning and end, and the use of resources. Some key aspects of project management include scope management, defining what is included in the project, time management, ensure the completion in time, cost management, quality management, resource management, risk management, which means identifying and mitigating project risks, and stakeholder management, which means managing the relationships and communication between stakeholders. In terms of scope, project management covers various processes and activities, which include initiating the project, planning the project, executing the project, and monitoring and controlling the project. Finally, closing, finalizing all activities and formally closing the project. In fact, effective project management ensures that organizational goals are met, resources are used efficiently, risks are managed, and stakeholders are satisfied with the project outcomes. So let's look at what are the life cycle phases and key activities of a project life cycle. Project life cycle consists of distinct phases, each with specific activities and deliverables. Primary phases are initiation. Key activities: define the project, conduct feasibility studies, identify stakeholders, and develop a project charter. Deliverables: the project charter and the feasibility report. Planning. Key activities: develop a project management plan, define scope, schedule, and budget, identify resources, and conduct risk assessment. What are the deliverables? The project management plan, a work breakdown structure, also known as WBS, and the risk management plan. Next, after planning, we have execution. So the key activities is to coordinate people and resources, execute project plans, ensure quality standards are met, and manage communications. Deliverables: complete the deliverables, status reports, and performance metrics. Next, we have monitoring and controlling. Key activities here is to track the project performance, manage changes to the project plan, identify and mitigate risks, and ensure that project stays on track. Deliverables, performance reports, change requests, updated project plan, if applicable. Finally, the closing. key activities, to finalize all project activities, to confirm project completion, obtain stakeholders' acceptance, and conduct post-project evaluation. Deliverables, final project report, lessons learned, and project closure documentation. The project lifecycle provides a structured approach to managing projects, ensuring that all necessary activities are completed and project goals are achieved. Now, for tools and techniques. Effective project planning involves the use of various tools and techniques to ensure that project objectives are met. Some key tools and techniques include what we call for the WBS, work breakdown structure. It is a decomposition in terms of an hierarchy of the total scope of the work to accomplish project objectives. It means that we have several Lego pieces that put together, combined, will give the total scope of work. Benefits, they provide a clear and detailed overview of the project scope, helps assign responsibility, and facilitates accurate cost and time estimates. A Gantt chart, it's a visual representation of the project schedule, showing tasks, durations, and most importantly, dependencies. This task can only begin when the other one has finished, so we need to know where we are, what are the impacts of any slowdowns that might happen on future tasks. Benefits helps track progress, identify critical path activities, and manage timelines. Next, the critical path method. This is a scheduling technique used to identify the longest sequence of tasks that determines the project duration. It helps to identify critical tasks that must be completed on time to avoid project delays. In fact, it's a technique that allows you, in a myriad of tasks, critical path method is in fact a way of determining which are the steps that really impact on the project duration and staying on time and schedule. Then we have what we call the PERT, which is a program evaluation and review technique. This is a statistical tool that is used to analyze and represent the tasks involved in completing a project. It helps estimate project duration and identify potential delays. Risk management plan. It's a plan that identifies potential risks, assesses their impact, and defines mitigation strategies. What are the benefits? It helps to proactively manage risks and reduce their impact on the project. Resource allocation plan. It's a plan that identifies and assigns resources to project tasks. It ensures that resources are available and can be used efficiently. All these tools and techniques are fundamental when you are doing project management. In this short course, we are only making a small description and looking at potential benefits. But if you want to enroll in a more detailed class on project management, that can be arranged on a presential or one-to-one basis. Okay, continuing. Gantt charts. So, Gantt chart is a bar chart that represents a project schedule. It shows the start and finish dates of the project elements and provides a visual timeline for project activities. Components listed on the vertical axis, we have the tasks. Represented on the horizontal axis, we have the timeline. The bars, they represent the duration of each task, with a position reflecting the start and end dates. It's an easy way to understand and visually represent the project schedule, to track progress, and to show dependencies and overlapping activities between the several tasks. Critical path method. So, as we said before, it's a project modeling technique that is used to identify critical and non-critical tasks. It has the following steps. First, you need to list the activities. Then, you need to sequence the activities, which are precedent, which are continuing, which are dependent on each other. Then, estimate the duration of each task. Draw the network diagram, that means creating a flowchart to visualize sequences and dependencies, and then identify the critical path, where and how are the critical tasks interconnected that will define the total duration of my project and where are the critical actions that I must take. The benefits: it identifies critical tasks, it optimizes scheduling, and really improves time management. Now for Program Evaluation Review Technique, the PERT. As we said before, it is a statistical tool that is used to manage uncertain activities in a project. Components: optimistic time, that means the shortest time in which a task can be completed; pessimistic time, the longest time; and the most likely time, somewhere between the shortest and the longest, assuming that everything proceeds as usual. The formula is O plus 4 times m plus p divided by 6, which means that the most likely time has 4 times the weight of the optimistic or pessimistic. This is a most empirical way of looking at times, but it helps you when you want to apply it and have a more, let's say, specific and supported time for a task that you are not really sure how long it will take. Benefits: manages uncertainty by providing a more realistic schedule, improves planning because it enhances the accuracy of project timelines, and identifies risks because when you are looking at pessimistic times, you can also make a critical path based on these pessimistic times and understand where your hurdles and possible slowdowns are. Okay, now that we finished looking at these tools, their benefits, and the way they are defined, let's look at resource allocation, some strategies and challenges. So, effective resource allocation is critical for project success. Some key strategies include resource leveling, that means adjusting the project schedule to address resource constraints. Benefits: they reduce resource over-allocation, ensures a balanced workload, and avoids burnout. Resource smoothing: it adjusts activities to ensure that resources are used efficiently without affecting the critical path and without activity peaks. It maintains project timeline while optimizing resource usage. Critical Chain Project Management, the CCPM. It focuses on resource availability and buffers a little bit, so creates a buffer to manage uncertainty. It improves project delivery times and reduces stress on resources. Priority scheduling prioritizes tasks based on their importance and resource availability. For instance, you can use this at the same time that you use the critical path method. You define the critical tasks, those will be the prioritizing tasks, so that when you are allocating resources, you know that you need to allocate it probably in a priority way to these tasks. Benefits: ensures critical tasks are completed first, improving project outcomes. Challenges in resource allocation. First, and of course, the availability of resources. So ensuring that resources are available when needed can be difficult, challenging, especially in multi-project environments where there is a competition for available resources. Resource conflicts. Those available resources, like I said, there is a competition because they are shared across multiple projects. And estimating requirements. Accurately estimating resource requirements is difficult, leading to under or over allocation. Then, changing priorities. Shifting project priorities can disrupt resource allocation plans and skill mismatch. This is perhaps one of the least understood but most important things that you need to avoid is need to ensure that resources have the necessary skills for the assigned tasks. Because if you just say, okay, I don't have this type of coder, but I'll use another one, what happens is that maybe you will get the task ready, but probably it will take twice as much time, and that will give you a whole problem in your critical path method and in your project management. Okay, now for risk management, identification and mitigation. As we said, one of the main activities and most important activities in project management. First, you need to identify and recognize potential risks that could impact the project. Key techniques include brainstorming, gathering input from the project team and stakeholders because they have that experience. Delphi technique, that's an expert consensus to identify and prioritize risks. Typically, you can have that from consultants or external people that have already gone through similar projects. SWOT analysis, analyzing strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to identify the risks. Checklists, predefined checklists to identify common risks. And interviews, conduct interviews with stakeholders and experts to uncover potential risks. And once you have identified them, then you need to draw a plan for their mitigation. And how do you do that? This involves developing strategies to reduce the impact of identified risks. Key strategies include, first and foremost, avoid the risks. Change the project plan to eliminate the risk. If there is an identified risk relevant to this task, you can either change the task, change its place within the timeline, or give it more time or more resources so that the risk decreases. Transference, shifting the risk to a third party, such as through insurance or outsourcing, so that it can be better addressed by another party. Mitigation, that means taking a proactive step to reduce the likelihood or impact of the risk. And finally, acceptance, acknowledging the risk and preparing to manage its impact if and when it occurs. Effective risk management ensures that risks are identified early, assessed accurately, and managed proactively to minimize their impact on the project. Okay, now we are going through project execution, so monitoring and controlling. Monitoring involves tracking project performance and progress against the project plan. Key activities include performance measurement using key performance indicator, the KPIs, to measure project progress. Status reporting, regularly updating stakeholders on project status and performance, and variance analysis, comparing actual performance against planned performance to identify deviations. Finally, change management, managing changes to the project scope, schedule, and budget. Now for controlling. Controlling involves taking corrective actions to address any deviations that were identified during the monitoring stage. And key activities here will include issue management, identifying, tracking, and resolving project issues, risk management, implementing risk mitigation strategies and updating risk management plans, quality control, ensuring that project deliverables meet quality standards, schedule control, managing changes to the project schedule to ensure timely completion, cost control, monitoring project costs, and managing changes to the project budget. So, effective project execution requires, on one hand, continuous monitoring to identify what is happening and controlling to ensure that project objectives are met, risks are managed, and stakeholders are satisfied with the project outcomes. Okay, guys, so this is the last slide of our last class, and it's the course main takeaways, okay? Not just this class. So, in terms of operation management, we said that it is the branch of management focused on designing, overseeing, and controlling the process of production and redesigning business operations in the productions of goods, services, or processes. Several core concepts are central to understanding operations management. They encompass product design, process design, quality management, supply chain management, inventory management, lean manufacturing, and just-in-time. In conclusion, operations management is a vital aspect of any business that significantly impacts efficiency, cost management, and customer satisfaction. This introductory course covered the most important topics related to this huge field of knowledge and can be further deepened and detailed not only in other courses but in special and one-to-one operations that we can combine with students that so require. Thank you very much, and I hope you liked operations management.